Action Jackson.
He'll be at Spooky.
Live! Haha, yes. Hi, Ultimate Guide to Spooky. It's Thursday night. You know what that means, so put your penis away. Before I start, Rob, you want to give us the disclaimer just before we start getting into the drinking and vulgarities?
Okay, why not? Greetings, friends. We're back, and we are the Ultimate Guide to Spooky Empire. We are not actually Spooky Empire, though. We don't work for them. We don't work with them. They
hate us.
They really, we're not liked. I in particular am the least liked. I don't even have the cuddly factor going. But that we don't work with them. There is no money exchange. There are not sexual favors exchanged, despite what you might have heard. We have nothing to do with them whatsoever. We have just as much to do with them as we do Coca-Cola, Nike, Fred Rerun Barry. We have nothing to do with them whatsoever. So we're just a group of fans who have been going to this convention for many, many years, and we want to share some of our knowledge with you. Now, also, very important to remember, this is not a kid-friendly show. It's 10 o'clock right now when we were doing this live. Perhaps you're catching it on the replay. But this is not a family-friendly show. We will say vulgarities. We will discuss adult situations. We will say cock. We will talk about adult situations and not the kind that are like paying bills. More like, how do you get cum streaks off of your shower door? Probably not, really. But,
Important.
We'll talk about, cum stains on your pillowcase at spooky hotels. That's a topic that could get covered. Point is, put the little ones to bed. Otherwise, they're going to ask you questions like, well, let's see. We already talked about the Alabama Hot Pocket last time I was on. So,
yep.
How about a bloody dragon? We can the strawberry shortcake. They might let's not let them know what a real strawberry shortcake is. So anyway, that's the point. We're here. We're gonna do a little show for you.
Yeah. And if you're easily offended, just go ahead and turn this off now. So we give everything that we give is from our own experience, our own opinions, from our own perspective. So if you're gonna get offended, fuck the right off.
We'll give you the Rita salute.
Right. That's right. But see, that's a gesture of love from us. So
look, if you have any complaints, just put them on Facebook. We will be sure to ignore them.
Yes. And so if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell for the notifications. I don't know where the fuck it is, but subscribe and like and blah, 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 all that shit. So we've got a lot to talk about. First thing we're going to do, as we know, first of all, it's a no pants show, as appropriate, because, fuck pants. We're all drinking because, it's all better with alcohol. Would you agree?
Always. You can.
Yeah. Yeah. So Harriet, welcome back, Harriet. And what are you drinking?
I'm not drinking out of my Bill mug, but I do have him.
Twins. We're twins. I love it.
I know. Yes. Woo. I am currently drinking out of my Spooky Empire glass, and I am drinking Honey Jack.
Oh. Cheers. There we go. Kairos, good to see you, sir. Look at you. You're looking quite dapper.
Yes, in honor of the passing of the bandit, Mr. Reynolds, today, I can't drink alcohol, but I specifically went and got non-alcoholic Coors. So,
good job.
So,
that's fantastic. Okay, and Mr. Rob there, what are you drinking?
Well, first, before I tell you what I'm drinking, let me show you what I'm making. And maybe I'll drink this on the next show.
Ooh.
What the fuck?
This is Honey Nut Cheerio infused rum.
Ooh.
Sounds delicious.
It's in another couple days. This will be mixed with milk, with honey syrup that I have to make as well, and then some apple pie spice, either apple pie spice or apple pie spice bitters, and I will have a beverage called the Honey Buzzed Milk Punch. It's basically a takeoff of the traditional New Orleans milk punch This is just serialized.
See, and I would have called it a romper room, but you know.
Sure.
That's good. I like that. I like
be a
that.
doobie and drink this.
Yes. Miss Yvonne will be happy.
So
right, well, guys,
anyway, and as far as what I'm actually drinking, I have a very manly J-Dubs Bell Cow Milk Chocolate Porter. So basically, it's chocolate milk beer.
Is it any good?
Yeah, if you like chocolate milk and you like beer, it's a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
Okay.
Mm.
And tonight I am drinking out of the Bill Hinsman mug. It's number 4 of 50. Only 50 of these made. Harriet has one as well. We will get to more about Bill and Tiki mugs in a bit, but I'm drinking. I guess it's kind of a gin and tonic. It's Unicorn Tears gin liqueur, a little bit of tonic, a little bit of lemon, because I'm drinking in honor of Burt Reynolds, and that guy was a fucking classy guy. Coors Light aside. I'm sorry. I think he was but this one came from over the pond. You can't get this in the U.S. Dave Dent, love you, sweetheart. Came over it, so I got that. That's special. It's international.
It will be in America soon, by the way. They finally have U.S. distribution, so you can get Unicorn Tear. They also have, I think, Mermaid Tears and Phoenix
That's
Tears.
vodka, but yeah.
Yeah, well,
I think a Mermaid Tears vodka, but so there's that. But so there's that, and something we started talking about before the webcast, because you've seen our Facebook for the past couple weeks. We've been doing these little, I don't know, mini episodes, I guess, kind of video tips for those of you that really haven't been to Spooky before or just need some reminding. Each one of the hosts is going to do their own little bit on a different tip that they're one of their favorite tips for Spooky. One I wanted to mention because I went to Bath and Body Works, and those of you that are Halloween freaks like we are, the stores, as you've seen, all have Halloween stuff out. Target's starting to come out, and all these other stores. Bath and Body Works, how cute is this? This is adorable. I love this. They actually have a hand sanitizer. I know, right? And it's called Werewolf Tears. I know, the camera won't focus, but it's called Werewolf Tears. I think they're just a couple of bucks. This way, you have no excuse. You don't get sick at Spooky. Use hand sanitizer at Spooky because germs. You people are fucking dirty. Germs. Hand sanitizer. It will keep you safe. As a matter of fact, Kairos, didn't you just show off one as well?
Yes. The holder is a little bat buddy.
How adorable!
To match your werewolf, one of the best scents in the world, I don't know if you can see it, but it's called Vampire Blood. And it is almost like a cherry blossom something. It's bright red. It smells amazing because we all know I'm a foppy bastard. But sanitize your hands. Sanitize your friends' hands. Do not come away from Spooky Empire with the fungus from Kunkus. Use hand sanitizer and condoms when necessary. Not on your hand. I mean, well, you could, but
yeah, don't use them together though. Hand sanitizer is not great lube.
No.
Could potentially sting as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's make a rule: hand sanitizer above the waist, condoms below the waist.
Absolutely.
That's okay. Well, actually, even hand sanitizer here is not a good idea. On the nipples, no, it's not. No, unless you're into that. I mean, some of you may be into that, but that's a whole nother show that we'll get into.
We had a guy that used to let us put hookah tongs in the charcoals, and he liked us to grab his nipples with them. I promise. So, whatever your thing is.
Hey, we don't judge. We don't fucking judge here. No,
Nope.
but speaking.
I judge.
Well, we just. Well, yeah. But anyway.
I judge quite a bit, as a matter of fact, but that's.
But you're silent. You silently judge, and that's fine. We can handle silently judging.
I'm writing it down
true.
for later, though. So.
We'll be sure to mock you after the show. That's for damn sure. But if you look at Kairos, he's our cosplayer for the evening, our impersonator, our look-alike. But yes, we lost a major icon today. Yeah, none of us are. Let's be honest.
No.
But we did lose a major icon today. Burt Reynolds passed, and Spooky was one of the 2 conventions. He only did 2 conventions in the U.S., and Spooky was one of them. He came to Spooky, I think, what was it, like 2015, I want to say, with the Trans Am from the Bandit. Massive, massive fan favorite. Had nothing but great things to say. His Q&A was freaking amazing. I'm sure it's on YouTube here somewhere. But yeah, all you got to do is look at that man right there drinking his Coors, you know. And I'm sorry, the guys on this show here, they don't have nearly the epic facial hair that man had. Has there been an epic mustache since?
No.
Look, here's the fact about Burt Reynolds' mustache. It was so goddamn impressive. It just made the whole thing go out of style because who could compete after that? I mean, Tom Selleck, God bless him, he tried, but you know, it's after Burt Reynolds, people just said we're not doing mustaches anymore. So you know, we went clean shaven. People tried goatees, landing strips on their face, you know, a whole bunch of ridiculous crap. We can't do mustaches anymore. They're gone, possibly forever. Now that he's dead, maybe we'll see them come back in fashion because, I mean, the bar is gone now. The bar is gone.
Yeah. I do have to say, when he was there, I did not attend his Q&A, but I did see him in passing the hallways, and he was so charming. He was super nice to everybody. He was just the epitome of a gentleman, and even at an advanced age. And you know, people were giving him high fives and thumbs up, and he was super nice. And I think that era is kind of lost.
Mm-hmm.
So I just
death of an era.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and then I look at some of the old pictures of him and Sally Field, and it was. It was just such a chemistry that they had, and he will be deeply missed. So
he was like the definition of manly and masculinity in that era. I mean, like who's his contemporaries? Like who's left? You have Eric fucking Estrada.
Yeah.
And fuck him. He tried to pick up my wife in front of me. I didn't dig that.
That's a story. That's a hell of a story.
It really is. But so you got him. You got Travolta, and he's gone. Maybe David Hasselhoff? Tom Selleck
with a mustache.
Well, he didn't do the mustache. Tom Selleck didn't do the mustache, or Tom Selleck did the mustache. But I'm just talking about, in general, these like in the early '80s, late '70s. These were the men.
Stacey doesn't even has his mustache anymore.
No, and I don't think Tom Skerritt does either, does he?
I don't think so.
No. Oh, I thought he did. He did it when he was at Spooky. He did.
Ah.
Yeah.
I'll FaceTime him later and find out because me and Tom Skerritt were like this. Good buddy.
Exactly. I mean, it's that aliens connection, But yeah, if you look at Kairos, I mean, he's sitting there just like not even drinking his Coors, just stroking the facial hair, and I gotta say, man, kudos. That you look very, very dashing tonight. That's fucking amazing.
Well, thank you. I had to do something, and I had the shirt, so
appropriate for the man himself, man. I mean, I don't think anybody came away with a negative experience whatsoever. Everybody was starstruck, legitimately so, but just starstruck because the guy was. And like Harriet said, I mean, even at an advanced age, and that was a nice way to put it, by the way. But even at an advanced age, he's still. Yes, Kairos.
No, I was going to say earlier today, Mike, Sabrina, and I were texting back and forth, and we were talking about him and that he had such an impact on both of them. Like part of their relationship was sitting and quoting both. Bandit 1 and 2 and Stroker Ace like back and forward, and that was a thing in their relationship. And I thought that was kind of just a neat thing to hear because as weirdos like we are, it's weird shit that brings us together in our relationships. And that was just like heartwarming to hear from 2 of our people. So
yeah. And in all honesty, I mean, one of the measuring sticks I use for how cool someone is if they know Cannonball Run. If you don't know Cannonball Run, then we just can't fucking hang. I mean, if you don't up to I can't.
I was just going to mention that because, he was the last of the main actors that were in that.
Now.
Yeah, Dom DeLuise, Farrah Fawcett, Jack Elam, who played the doctor, the crazy doctor, and then Sammy Davis Jr. and they've all passed, and he was kind of the last of them.
Yeah, you've got the secondary one, like Jackie Chan, who was, he, not that he's not a huge actor, but he's left. Adrienne Barbeau, she's left.
Yep.
I can't think of anyone really big that's left other than them.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, and Mel Tillis passed. Didn't he pass too?
I think so.
Yeah.
So that.
Oh wait, Terry Bradshaw. Terry Bradshaw's still kicking.
Oh yeah.
That is true. Oh. And he's getting naked on national television.
And we're the winners for that.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I mean, Burt Reynolds. Yeah. The only negative thing I have to say, and it's not about Burt Reynolds. There was me and a friend of mine that were waiting for Matthew Lillard, of all people, who was fucking amazing. And one of the staff from, I forget, not even from Spooky, but a staff that was working for something for Spooky, was saying that Neve Campbell, who from Scream, Burt Reynolds obviously was, he had just suffered the stroke, so he was, had his wheelchair and all that business. Very fragile guy at that point. Neve Campbell apparently was the one person that he wanted to meet out of the entire convention. He wanted to meet Neve Campbell. She would not get up and go over to meet fucking Burt Reynolds.
What?
She had to have him. Yes, this is a true story. He actually had, she had to have him come over to meet her. So, I'm sorry. Neve Campbell, go fuck yourself. Twice.
Yeah, fuck that.
There you go. Wow. With an Alabama Hot Pocket, bitch.
That really says a lot about her.
Yeah, exactly. Who fucking doesn't get out of their fucking chair to see Burt Reynolds? Who does that?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Maybe Lonnie Anderson, but
Fair point. Who was also a spooky guest. That is true. But you know what? She did good with Bert's money. She's still looking good, with all of Bert's money. So, hey, let's all do a toast to Bert and the Bandit.
To the Bandit.
To the Bandit.
To the Bandit. To the Bandit. Good on you, sir. Now, speaking of these drinks, those of you who saw, we've got a couple of guest announcements to talk about. One of them is Riku Browning, who, let's face it, is like the last of the Universal Classic monsters. Fucking screen icon. He's coming back to Spooky, which is freaking amazing. And if I can get this screen share going, let me see if I can actually do this. If you've seen the announcement today they actually announced they're doing another one of these tiki mugs. Yeah. Now these tiki mugs are freaking amazing, as you can see. They're handcrafted, beautifully done. They cost $75. You can get them on the website. Whoops, as my thing is freezing up, of course. Let's see if this works. Yeah, but Spooky just shared it today. There you go.
Woo.
Look at that.
I want that.
Oh, if I'm not mistaken, somebody on this day has actually ordered one, if I'm not wrong.
I did. Yeah, I basically had a couple extra bucks in my pocket because it looks like the costume I have isn't going to happen for Spooky. So I'm like, well, costume budget is now mug budget.
Hey.
You know what? I can tell you, as someone that bought one of the Bill mugs, it's absolutely worth it. It's a piece of art. It absolutely is a piece of art. And not to mention, after these run out, on eBay, they're going to go for at least 3 times as much.
Sure.
So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so basically you pre-order it, go on the website, $75, you pick it up at the show, so you have immediate drinking utensil at the show. So
okay, don't drink at this or in this at the show. No, don't, folks. It's a $75 goddamn glass. Don't use it there,
please.
Okay,
no.
that's my mistake. I drink it at the show, but I'm also a responsible adult. So
yes. 95% of the rest of us aren't. So.
Nope.
And it's ceramic, so that's kind of like glass, and we don't allow glass at the pool. So
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Just for the record, I'm like an old. I've been a tiki person for many, many years. It's been something I've just very much loved for probably 2 decades. And I have to say, for the most part, all these geek themed tiki mugs that come out just piss me off. I hate them. I mean, the Star Wars tiki mugs. If you bring it over to me, I will accidentally throw it on the ground. I hate them, but these are really, really well done. And the fact is, I think the creatures from the Black Lagoon, the Gill Man, there's a little bit of synergy there, so I think that works. But again, the Bill one is so well done. This isn't the typical cheap ceramic that gets used. This is really, really nice stuff. So
this is for special occasions like, the halfway to spooky tiki parties, those kind of things.
Yeah, and perhaps one of our viewers will be lucky enough to get an invite next year. Don't hold your breath, but
that's
that's the man you got to talk to. That's the most discerning, person on our dais here. So you got to get past him. But yeah, I mean, Riku Browning is a guest again, and as we all know, I mean, it's like having Boris Karloff at the show. The guy is iconic. Yeah. So I mean, if you haven't met him, do so now. And plus, you can get him to sign your mug.
And for his age, he's still gorgeous. So let me just say that. A very, very handsome man. We were talking about that before the show. And he's still, at his age, extremely attractive. So
he is about 88, 89. He is not a young man anymore. So just, folks, he's history. I mean, yes. He is literally history. I mean, I know all these other, kind of flavor of the month celebs, will come and go. And you get a chance to suck their dick and pay $100 for their autograph. Riku is a goddamn legend and will always be one. And, not to be morbid, he's 88, 89, somewhere in that neck of the woods. If you
he's aware, and I'm sure he makes jokes about it.
Yeah. If you have not gotten this man anything from him at this point, you're retarded. So please make this the year. If you haven't done it yet, do it. Okay. If you like horror at all, this is one of the people who built the foundation for horror movies.
You're here.
So,
you will drink to that.
And for the record, he's not one of these $100 autographs either. No. He's old school in that regard. So yeah.
No, this is a man. Yeah, no, this is a man that will absolutely share stories with you. He will, not only make eye contact, but so many of these celebrities, as Rob said, kind of flavor of the month. They just here. I mean, let's remember John Cusack. And I'm a fan of John Cusack. We all know what happened with fucking John Cusack. Okay, this is not John Cusack. This is a guy who appreciates his fans. He loves spooky. He's in good spirits the entire time. You're going to come away with such an amazing fan experience. Everybody's got wonderful stories about Riku Browning. And like Rob said, this guy is history, the foundation of horror. So you just have to. You have to. Whoops.
He is not a cock nostril. So
I like that, cock nostril. But see, Carlos, here's what I want to know. You said that he's a very handsome man.
Yes.
So would you say at his age you would bang him?
Absolutely.
That's weird because he looks like your dad.
Well, yeah, hold on. That is weird. Under normal circumstances, yes, but he looks exactly like my father, so no.
That's amazing. Yes, but no.
Even pictures of my father in the Navy when he was a young man, the two of them, when I see you in person, I'm going to show you a picture of my dad as a young man. And they look exactly the same. It's creepy.
Wow.
But yes, if he was not my father, then yes.
Okay, that's cool. That's awesome. But actually, speaking of really weird sexual stuff, you just came home from Dragon Con. Talk about a great segue. Now, everybody talks about Dragon Con being the big ball and whatnot. So it's for those that want to know, especially if you're a horror fan, what are the differences between Dragon Con and Spooky?
Well, let me preface, I'm glad you said that. Specifically for horror fans, the horror track has been trying to really get momentum for the several years, and it really sadly doesn't have that much momentum. Netherworld is always there. They're amazing. And if you've never
I love Netherworld.
Yeah, they're always amazing. The panels, and I'm not a big panel person. This year we went to none because there were no interesting panels that the Horror Track put on. If you're speaking just horror, you cannot compare the two. Spooky is,
Fair enough.
and it's not just because I'm biased and pro spooky, but spooky will always be the end all be all for horror fans. Dragon Con for horror is really lacking. The panels that they do have are at best. Last year they had like a whole kaiju panel. That's cool. But this year it was not. Now, in general, well, even in general, the two, it's a completely different world. Dragon Con is very much like family, even the big show. Spooky. Dragon Con is 85,000 plus people. I do have to say that of all the years that I've been going, this past year, it seemed like the convention gods and stars all aligned because I have I have absolutely nothing negative to say about my experience. And that's weird. Usually I can find something to bitch about. But for horror fans, you will find maybe 3 or 4 panels if you're a panel person. They don't throw a party, which is weird. The steampunk people throw a party. The Star Trek people throw a party. Firefly does. Anime kids do. But horror, there's no after party for the Horror Track. There's no coming together in the Horror Track like you see with the Star Wars fans or the Star Trek fans or the anime kids or whatever. It's almost like, hi, we're here, don't forget us. And no one ever, you don't see horror costumes hardly ever, which is going to change next year because I'm bringing one of mine. But you almost wouldn't know that there were other horror fans there. And it cannot hold a candle to spooky when it comes to horror. But as a convention itself, it's not the same. Some of us have been talking about this since last Wednesday. It's not the same that it was even 4 years ago. And there are pros and cons to that. Same thing with Spooky. Spooky is not Screamfest from Lauderdale anymore, but it still retains its spookiness, if that makes any sense. So if you're interested in Dragon Con for horror next year, I mean, maybe they will get their stuff together. Hell, I would even get with the Horror Track people personally and see if there's something that maybe, I don't know, I could suggest or something. But if you're going, money is a concern and you're thinking, well, maybe I'll go to Dragon Con, but Spooky's the month after and I'm more of a horror fan than anything else, go to Spooky. Don't go to Dragon Con. But if you have,
that's a good point.
Yeah, but if you have multiple bizarre, obscure fandoms like I do, and I don't hang out with the majority of the Dragon Con people, so for me, it's worth it, and it's sort of a yearly birthday present that Fate gets. So I don't ever have to pay for a ticket or a hotel room because that's sort of my birthday present from Fate every year. But if we did have to pay, I don't know. I like it, but of the two of them, Spooky will always be first and foremost in my heart. But I'm not saying, if you're a horror fan, don't go to Dragon Con at all. No, I'm not saying that. You will probably have fun doing other things, just not horror related.
Okay. Yeah, but it was really interesting because it's a lot of people have been talking about Dragon Con since it happened literally last weekend. And that's a good thing that he points out. If you're a horror fan, you're more likely to have more fun at Spooky as opposed to Dragon Con. Dragon Con is apples and oranges. I see a lot of people comparing the two. So since he just came back, I figured it was a good thing to bring up. But no, that's really awesome. I appreciate your review.
Yeah, you can't compare the two.
Okay, that's absolutely fair. Also, we just got a new guest announcement, not just Riku Browning, but Robert Patrick. So that rounds out like the whole X-Files cast for those of you that are X-Files fans. Plus T-1000. Who does not remember the T-1000? He's fucking iconic. I remember him from The Sopranos personally, but I mean, Rob, what would you say is your favorite like Robert Patrick role?
Oh, I would probably stick with the T-1000. That's kind of the thing I'll always remember him from. But he's done a lot of good stuff, and like you said, The Sopranos. That was always he got such a just he was so pathetic on The Sopranos. Poor guy. Just had not such good luck there. So. Yeah, great actor. You know, again, I watched literally one episode of the X-Files in my entire life. He wasn't in that one, so I really can't, comment on his acting on the show. But that's kind of why he's being brought in as a part of the whole X-Files group. So for X-Files fans, just that extra cherry on top for you.
Yeah, no, he's like one of those guys, especially in recent years. That's if you look at his IMDb, he's pretty much been like in at least an episode of everything. You'll be watching something 2 o'clock in the morning. Boom, there's Robert Patrick. So he's pretty much been in everything. I mean, I don't know if either of you are looking forward to meeting Robert Patrick at all. Maybe,
yeah,
maybe not.
It's bittersweet for me as an X-Files fan because his character reminds me of the season that David Duchovny wasn't in. And it was sort of a last minute, let's throw this new FBI agent in. So, yeah. And he was good. I mean, he's a great actor. I didn't particularly care for the character. I have to go with Rob, like the T-1000. Like, that's what I think of him as. But still, for an X-Files fan, it does, like you said, round the whole thing out and make it a reunion, Will I be interested in actually meeting him? Yeah. I mean, I've never actually met the man in person, so I think it would be really cool. And if you're an X-Files fan, it's sort of, if you're a completist, you kind of need, everyone. So.
Yeah, and he's on a show now called Scorpion, and it's actually really good. He's kind of like an FBI agent who watches over these people who are like geniuses.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Yeah, they're kind of like a covert group of people who help out with crime and so on and so forth. And he's like the legal representative of them. But it's a really good show, and I've watched it several times, and I really like it. And it's just good to see him, like you said, he just pops up on a show once in a while. But this is his regular show right now, and
that's awesome.
When he was on X-Files, I tried to watch, continuously after Duchovny left, and yeah, there was something missing, and he got compared to Duchovny a lot, but he still brought his own style, his own character, his personality to it, and I mean, everybody knows him as the T-1000 because it's just such a blank face that he had, but he's like you said, he pops up every once in a while and other stuff. But I'm excited. I'm looking forward to seeing him and to see what he's like.
You know what? I'll give him credit on one other thing. I can't remember the role, and I think he's done it several times. But while it's not like Burt Reynolds quality, the man has shown to have a pretty good mustache at times.
Yeah.
That's a good point. He does have a pretty decent mustache.
So he's got
gym teacher looking.
He's got mustache cred.
Mustache cred. Okay, yeah, no. Now we have to meet him at the panel and ask about the mustache cred and put him in the Mustache Hall of Fame.
Okay, that's not a Hall of Fame mustache. I mean, it's good.
Okay.
It's solid. It's a solid B mustache. Like if I have my mustache all-stars, he doesn't quite make it, but he's close. He's good.
So he gets a thumbs up. And Horror and Sons, Horror and Sons is in the chat room, and everyone's talking, and he says to say hi to everyone, and he mentions Fire in the Sky. I don't know if anyone remembers that movie.
Wow!
Yeah, I forgot about yes.
1993's best.
Talking about a little old school there. But and we also got another Peru was watching us, and they asked if we thought that Bruce Campbell might be announced in the next, for Spooky. And in all honesty, we still have 50 days to go. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, why don't you announce this person? Why don't you announce this person? We still have a month and a half before Spooky. Spooky literally will take up to the day before the convention. And you know what? It's not unheard of for them to have a surprise guest. I mean, if anyone remembers David Arquette, I mean, he was,
If I can weigh in, no chance in hell. and here's why.
Say that.
No, I can. I can say that, and here's why. First of all, I'm highly intelligent. Number two,
dear Lord.
Just ask him; he'll tell you.
It's true.
Have another Honey Cheerios robe.
Here's the marketing reason. Bruce Campbell is a guy who will sell like 5,000 tickets. People who want to see him, don't give a crap about anyone else. Bruce Campbell sells tickets. That's the kind of guest you announce as early as you possibly can. So waiting until even a month and a half till the event, you don't get your money's worth if you get a guest like Bruce Campbell. He's somebody that you would get 3, 4, 5 months, maybe even 6 months out. Like when they had him for Mayhem. He was announced for the very first Mayhem. Bruce was announced 6 months in advance.
And I don't think he does shows in October. I don't think he really does a whole lot of shows or public anything in October because he's so heavily associated with Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Well, I think, like I said, I'm sure his rates pretty much triple in October.
Yep.
So, but although I will say this, now that Evil Dead the series is over, I'm not sure if he's working regularly. So, he might be more likely to start showing up at our show again.
Go ahead. No, Carlos, please go ahead.
Because it drew another parallel with me between Dragon Con and Spooky with guests and stuff like that. They do the same thing. It could be literally 3 days before Dragon Con, and then they say, oh, and by the way, blah is coming. And so they're a little bit bigger. So I guess from the marketing standpoint, it really doesn't matter because they've already made their money the day after Dragon Con the previous year for people buying tickets. So, but they, and really, I think all cons do that. It depending on the availability of the stars, if they're available, I just said that was redundant, and stuff like that. But
how about the course?
Of course.
But here's the thing. I mean, I will be the lone dissenter here, but I do think it's not completely out of the cards. Now, I agree. In October, he's usually pretty booked. But like they said, Ash vs. Evil Dead is just stopped. Bruce is in Florida. Last I checked, I think he has a house down here or something. So it's not out of the cards. I mean, is it unlikely? Sure. But in all honesty, how many times has Spooky surprised us where we were like, how are they going to top this show? How are they going to top this show? And every year they seem to pull some magic unicorn out of their ass and boom, they blow us away. So, I mean, the odds are
we will
against
see
it,
a magic unicorn at this show before we see Bruce Campbell.
Okay. But our friend from Peru apparently is looking to come to Spooky for his honeymoon. So congratulations. And
congratulations.
That, we toast you. Mazel tov, sir. So mazel tov. That's freaking fantastic.
Lancha.
Oh, God. What the I don't even want to know what the fuck Rob's doing.
I'm toasting with the Honey Nut Cheerio rum because I finished my beer.
Be sure and you post on the Facebook page that recipe because apparently we have a number of people in the chat room that are super, super interested.
Of course you are. Yeah. I'm making it. You should be interested.
Oh, dear Lord. And yeah, I'm going to cut him short here. Otherwise, he's just going to go on all night. Okay. The Gilman mugs. Yeah. I'm gonna mute him. I swear to God. But the tiki mugs, the Gilman tiki mugs, is something else that I do want to bring up. Like we said before, you go onto SpookyEmpire.com. You go onto the ticket page. You can buy them for the pre-sale. You can buy them there. Pick them up at the show. But people, when it comes to the Facebook page, we keep an eye on the Spooky Facebook page. Some of y'all need to think before you hit the enter button on some of these fucking comments. Holy fuck. Somebody, y'all have seen, okay? Y'all know.
Yeah.
Somebody asked if the drinks were, they asked if these were hollow. and I, you know what? I got to give props to Spooky because, and they were super, super polite about it. They were like, yeah, it's ceramic, it's hollow. That's where you put the drink in.
It's a tiki mug. It's a tiki mug. That you drink out of.
But really, I have so much respect for Spooky staff because,
it's not a Bill bas relief. It's a mug.
It's like a fleshlight, except it's a tiki mug.
Oh, no. Dude, this is not for penis, okay? Do not put your penis and balls in the mug. No, that's a no-no.
No, Astara over here is going, well, I mean, you could.
Oh, my God. And by the way, Spooky Empire is in the chat room and they're watching, so we're trying to help you guys out. Don't want people putting their genitalia on or in the mugs, so that would be a nice thing to not happen. Jesus fucking Christ.
But if you do, send us photos. If you do.
No. Send Kairos. Send them to him. Okay.
Yes.
I don't want to see that.
I gotta admit, I kind of do.
See?
What does it say that the guys want to see that?
Yeah,
we're open-minded. That's all.
Okay.
Care of Ultimate Guide to Spooky Empire.
Yeah.
Dear Lord, fucking weirdos. Okay, speaking of weird things, we have a little bit of a tidbit that while it hasn't been officially announced, we did see Spooky make a comment that for those of you that are House of a Thousand Corpses fans, they are going to do a full photo op with all the guests that are there, which is like Dr. Satan, you got Bill Moseley, you got Captain Spaulding, you have, I think it was Mary, Jennifer Johnston. So they're actually going to be doing a full photo op of all the House of a Thousand Corpses, which is fucking fantastic. So those of you that have baby Firefly costumes or you know, Otis or whatever, bring your cosplay, get the photo op, because this is a once in a lifetime sort of thing. So, I mean, personally, and I've said before, I think House of a Thousand Corpses is better than Devil's Rejects. But
yes, I agree.
Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah. So especially if you're a fan of Rob Zombie stuff, you're not going to see this anywhere else. So, absolutely. Oh, my God. Oh, okay. So, yes, let's see. Spooky Empire should hit us with an exclusive. What about that? I think the Tiki Mug's exclusive enough, personally, but that's just me. Yeah. Let's see. Also, oh, yes, Spooky Days in the Park is returning. For those of you that, I think it was the year before last that they did that at Disney?
No, last year.
Oh, last year. Okay, Rob, why don't you tell us about Spooky Days? Okay, Spooky Days in the Park, since apparently I can't tell time.
Me?
You.
Oh.
Since Mr. Know-It-All, since I'm so knowledgeable and I'm highly intelligent.
All right. Well, you see, children. Okay. Well, Spooky Days in the Park. Last year they had a smaller convention over at the the Coronado Springs Hotel. And then the next day we actually all met up at the connection went bad right now, didn't it?
No.
I can
for a second, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But right ahead, we're good.
In that case, yes. Anyway, it was basically a day for all these Spooky Empire fans to go out to the Magic Kingdom and hang out together, do stuff over in front of the Haunted Mansion. There was a lot of Disney bounding where people kind of do the pseudo cosplaying, not quite, almost, sort of, kind of, not really. But, it's got its fans. So it's back again. I believe September the 22nd. Do I have that date right?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes,
September the 22nd. So, if you had a good time last year, there were a good number of us there. So, again, this is just the day at the park this time around. All the other things going on at Coronado Springs will not be there. Probably for the best because, the fact is when you're at Disney, you want to be at Disney. Don't make people not go to Disney when they're at Disney World or they're just a few feet away. So that's what they're doing this year. So I'm not going to be able to make it myself, but I'm sure there's a number of people who will, and have a big old time and get yourself a churro.
Just to add on to that, those of you that like seeing Disney World while they're doing all the Halloween decor, while they're doing the Halloween party, all that. A lot of people, because I know the villains always come out around Halloween time. So those of you that are fans of like the villains and Nightmare Before Christmas and some of the darker stuff Disney does, this is something you want to check out. Now, how much does it cost? Basically, all it costs is your admission into Magic Kingdom. So those of you that are annual pass holders, or some of you have like your 3-4 day tickets or whatever, coincide, and this is a good way to meet up with other spooky fans. And that was a great thing, especially with the Haunted Mansion. A lot of people got together and rode the Haunted Mansion together, stuff like that. There was a big photo op in front of the castle. So if you're interested in the darker side of Disney, this is a good way to have like just a fun day at Disney with other spooky fans. So that's something to consider.
Maybe next week we throw in a few Disney tips for the people going.
That's not a bad idea. You can do that.
The churros.
Okay. The churros. It's a good thing to bring up because I know they have villain themed treats in the parks right now. Like I saw someone posting that they had like a Maleficent ice cream cone that had like the horns on it, and they had like something that was Evil Queen that had like bat wings or something like that. But they have like these villain themed treats that are in the parks right now. So not only just your Dole Whip, you can get something that's a little spooky on the side. So that's something to consider.
Like the Yzma themed churro.
What the fuck is it with you and churros?
Well, I like them.
Churros are amazing.
Okay, churros are amazing, and Disney's churros are pretty good.
They're cinnamon donuts that are in this country illegally.
And are apparently walking. You don't need a wall for the churros.
That's
true, because
some people would say that. Some people would say churros are donuts that are up to no good.
Oh my god. Okay, and also Spooky also announced recently they have a kid zone. Those of you that have kids, you always wonder if Spooky is a good family-friendly environment. I mean, I know this webcast isn't, but Spooky is. This definitely isn't. Kid Zone is where they have little crafts, stuff like this. They have I think like last year they had. No, I was at the convention center. They had a science experiment sort of thing going on, so kids could go there and they could make slime or stuff like that, and so it's fun, and especially around Halloween they have little Halloween themed stuff, for the kids. So it's something that.
It's what my kiddo did it a couple times over the years. He's always had a blast doing it. I mean, it's candy, so hell, that alone is already a win in his column. But there's fun stuff. They have the kids all have a good time. So again, if you were debating will my kid just be bored, they got the kids zone there. They will have fun.
Oh yeah, they've got trick-or-treating, they've got face painters, they've got special vendors, they got special kid activities, and this will be all 3 days. It's not an extra price. It's included with your admission to Spooky Empire, so that's something.
And remember,
don't be concerned.
Your churns. If you one kid is a child, 2 are children, 3 or more churns.
Sure.
They are free if they're under 10. So not going to cost you extra to get your spawn inside.
Ooh, like what your spawn inside the tiki mug is entirely something else. But
That's we've already discussed not to do that.
hey, you're the guys. You were guys the ones that wanted pictures of
No,
people
he
putting their
Yeah,
their
we
churros.
said if you did it, if you
Yeah.
showed poor judgment, that we do not condone,
No. But if.
but if,
But if.
then
But
you can
if.
send a picture.
Yeah.
And Spooky has just announced that they just literally just announced they have a schedule for Spooky Days in the Park. So if you're interested in the whole Disney Spooky Day in the Park, go to spookyempire.com or Spooky's Facebook. They just announced the schedule like 10 minutes ago. And Rob, just for you, Horror and Sons has let you know that they will be eating churros in your honor at Disney.
Oh, that's so sweet.
By the
Isn't
way,
it?
for any potential writers out there who like to write about their favorite horror movies, please visit horrorandsons.com or find them on Horror and Sons Facebook. And you might have an opportunity to do some writing for them. I will be submitting something. Harriet will be
Actually,
submitting
there's three of
something.
us. Yep.
Yeah, three of us. So
Yeah.
we're all writing for them. The stuff we are going to be doing will be showing up in October. And if you would like to join us, be some of the cool kids, you know where to go.
I think he's got like 4 spots left.
Yeah, running
So-
out, folks.
Yeah, and then it's like Rob said, it's an opportunity to get your stuff out there, and hey, say that you're a published writer, or get your stuff out in the open and let other people know about it. About your
And the guy who runs it, he's actually very good. If you have like your own little blog or something you would like to plug, he'll let you do that as part of your the piece you write for him. And they've got like 10,000 people on their Facebook page. They have a lot of visitors on the website. So trust me, it's really good exposure for you if you're an exposure whore.
And not even that. I mean, exposure is one thing, but what I like about it is that it's so much different from other websites where they just write a generic piece about Jason or Freddy or blah, blah, blah. Every year for October, he has a different theme and he has specific guidelines. So it's kind of like a challenge to come up with something that's a little personal and how a particular horror subgenre or a year or just something in particular affects you during the month of October. So it's something very interesting and personal that it's not just like, oh, let's look at this It trailer again. Let's dissect Halloween for the 20 millionth time. It's not generic shit. It's actually really interesting shit. So I personally recommend it. I love the hell out of it. And speaking of creators, they also announced the creators track. Podcasters, filmmakers. John Q. Hartness is going to be a special guest novelist of Running with the Devil, for those of you that know that book. Fireheart. Yeah. What?
Nothing.
What was that?
I've been drinking. Don't mind me.
Yeah. And that's why I'm focusing on you here. Okay, and then Bubba the Monster Hunter. Not Bubba the Redneck Werewolf, but Bubba the Monster Hunter, because, there are two completely separate entities. And so spookyempire.com/creators for more details on that. For those of you that are interested in things other than the guests, like authors and hosts and podcasters and things like that. So, and the other thing that's actually really interesting that's going on, who is excited for American Horror Story Apocalypse starting next Wednesday?
Me.
Please, Harriet, take it away.
This is a quick little blurb. This really doesn't have too much to do with spooky, but since we're all horror fans here, I'd like to talk a minute about an American Horror Story. It comes out next week, September 12th, which I think is Wednesday, on FX2. It's called American Horror Story Apocalypse, and it's technically season 8. All the regulars are coming back. Sarah Paulson, who's actually going to be directing an episode. Kathy Bates, Evan Peters, who's also going to be directing an episode. Emma Roberts, Jessica Lange is coming back.
I love Jessica Lange. Oh,
yes, and she's coming back as the woman Constance Langdon from Murder House. She's coming back from
my favorite character. Oh.
Yeah, so she's coming back. Lily Rabe, Frances Conroy, Stevie Nicks.
Oh wow.
Billy Lord, who is Carrie Fisher's daughter. She was in last season Cult. She played Evan Peters' sister. Connie Britton and Dylan McDermott, both from Murder House from season 1.
Best season.
Yep. Well, in some people's opinion. Amazon Eve from Freak Show. And
who was in Spooky?
Yep, who has been a Spooky and is a wonderful person. I got to meet all the freaks that year, and they were just amazing. And in the what the hell category, Joan Collins, who is
she's alive.
She's alive.
Yes.
She's going to be in American Horror Story. She's playing Evan Peters' grandmother.
Wow.
So
fantastic.
Yeah, what the hell? But I going through them all, I'm probably gonna go back and watch Murder House and try to get my hands on Coven. I wasn't a huge fan of Coven, but a lot of the girls are reprising their roles this year for Apocalypse. So we'll see a lot of the witches coming back, and we'll see the Murder House people coming back. But I kind of was looking at all the different seasons and equating them with the 7 Deadly Sins. So like Murder House was lust, Hotel was pride, and you know they kind of all tie. They all have a theme, but they also tie in with the 7 Deadly Sins, which I think was interesting. And if you see me out at Spooky, pull me aside and you want to talk about American Horror Story, because I'll talk about it all day long. I love it. A lot of people are kind of tired of the show because the last couple seasons really sucked. Yep. But I turned Roanoke into a drinking game. And talk to me more about that. I binged the last 3 or 4 episodes, and every time they went back into the house, I drank. And by the last episode, I really didn't care how bad it was because it was just hilarious. And yeah, so it was that kind of thing. So, you know, if you see me and you want to talk about American Horror Story, please do, because I still love the show. I think it's a great idea that they bring back the same actors as different characters, and it's a different theme or a different style each show or each season. So, you know, feel free to talk to me about it. Also, things that are coming up, like horror-wise, The Nun is coming out this weekend, and Halloween comes out next month, October 19th. And these are things that I know we'll start seeing, like in the vendor room. We'll see like people dressing up as the Nun, people dressing up as Michael Myers. We'll see a lot of that this year. So,
bingo.
What?
Yeah.
No, we're going to be doing bingo. We're going to do our own Ultimate Guide bingo.
Yes.
And they'll be on the bingo.
Yes. So, yeah, that's just a quick horror wrap-up kind of thing of like what's coming out. And again, you know, I'm a big American Horror Story fan. So if you see me and you want to talk about it, if you want to tell me how much you hate it, that's fine too. But also respect the fact that I still love it. And don't judge me on that, because I love a lot of things that a lot of people hate. So there you go.
One of the things I like about this is, personally, I've always been a fan of apocalyptic horror, you know, end of the world horror, where you bring in Satan and the end of the... I've always loved that. So I like the fact that this is a culmination, not just a crossover of the 1st and 3rd seasons, but a culmination, because they've Ryan Murphy, the creator, has said there's going to be 9 seasons, which, if I am not mistaken, aren't there 9 levels of Dante's Circles of Hell? I think.
Not sure.
Okay, I'm thinking that there's 9 levels of Dante's Inferno, so 9 levels of hell. So that's what I'm equating it to. But I mean, there's a lot of people that do that sort of stuff. But I like that they're there. But yeah. I like Jessica Lange. I love Joan Collins. I love Evan Peters. I like that they're bringing back these characters. I love Kathy Bates. I saw the trailer. They posted it on YouTube. I want to say last night or yesterday.
Yeah.
Dark,
I think it was yesterday.
Shit.
Yeah, and it was funny because they show, you know, like they show like the world ending and everybody's, you know, apocalypse now, blah blah blah. But then they show them kind of at this outpost or whatever, and it looks like they've gone underground, and you know, there's a shot of Kathy Bates saying "Hail Satan," and I was like,
yeah, I was just like, yes,
I'm on board.
Sign me up, sign me up, sign me up, absolutely. And then I saw them, like, you know, whipping the shit out of people or something. But I always love apocalyptic horror, so I like that this is all culminating in the end of the world in this universe. So I'm loving it. So I'm hoping that this is going to be really neat. Also, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and we would love to see any of these people at any of the spookies. Hint, hint.
Oh. Well, I've done Satan already, so I mean, but, but one more note: there are a couple of questions in the chat room, and someone actually asked if the VIP ticket was worth it and if it would be too crowded. So you know what, Kairos, I'll just hand this over to you since you've been quiet for a while.
No, like I said in previous episodes, I've done VIP in the past. It all depends on if the stars that you really, 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 really want to meet is that particular show. Yes, you do get a lot of fun little perks. I think everyone should do it once. And I think I said that before. If you've never done it, then absolutely yes. If you have done it in the past and you can afford to do it, yes, because again, it only helps the show and your fellow spooky family in the long run to have bigger and better shows. If you have done it and can't afford it, well, that's okay. But if you've never done it before and can, do. It is really fun. I wish we would have done it the last time. I said this before in the last show, only to see the tree before it made it out of the VIP party. Those of you that were in the VIP room, you got to play with the tree and dangle the tree and fondle the tree and dance with the tree. And
that was me.
Yeah. So
I got tree
there's
stories.
all kinds of really cool shit that happens. And it seems like when you don't do it, that's when all the cool shit happens. I mean, the cool shit happens when you do it too, but it seems like the years that you don't do it, really fun, cool shit happens. So do it.
Yeah. No, and Big Daddy Mike is in the chat room, and he just said, for me, the VIP is better in October, which I happen to agree. October is the more crowded show, and especially you want to do VIP if you're going to be there Saturday and you want to meet the X-Files cast, you want to meet Elvira and Peter Criss, because those are going to be some fucking insane lines. The Q&As, the VIP is worth it because you get the front row for all the Q&As. So if you want to be there for like the X-Files Q&A and stuff like that, and you want to be guaranteed to get into that without a problem, without waiting an hour and a half in line, the VIP is definitely worth it.
Yeah.
The VIP party, if you drink, if you're, into alcohol, there is an open bar at the VIP party. Not to mention, and this is something that a lot of people that they don't really talk about, the VIP party, they have a ton of, not only do they have the guitar, y'all see what Mohawk Crew does. Between the guitar, they do a custom guitar, usually of like some of the guests. They'll probably be doing an X-Files guitar or a House of a Thousand Corpses guitar, signed by all the guests, and they'll be raffling that off. They raffle off all these great prizes from a number of the vendors, these one-of-a-kind art pieces. You don't get that at other shows, So if you like that stuff, then definitely. And I'm sure Big Daddy Mike and they agree. If you go to the VIP party, and granted, I don't think a lot of the X-Files, a lot of the bigger names won't necessarily be at the VIP party, but this is a great opportunity to get to talk to and sit down with a lot of the guests that you actually like when they're not behind the table. When they're at a party drinking, you actually get to sit at a table and talk to them like a human being. If that's a thing that appeals to you, then yes, VIP is definitely worth it. If there's someone that you're just going absolutely nuts over, that you want to sit down and fangirl nuts, the VIP is definitely worth it. Harriet, what do you think?
I wholeheartedly agree. I haven't gone VIP in the last few years. I just haven't been able to afford it. But the years that I have gone, it has been totally worth it because, like you said, you get in first for the panels, and it's usually the first 3 to 5 rows that you get to sit in. The VIP party is totally worth it. One year I won an illustrated, signed, and dated coffin-shaped guitar case. It was illustrated and signed and dated by Clive Barker.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn!
Yeah, and still have it. It's one of my possessions. Yeah, and they give away free tickets to the next show sometimes. So the VIP raffle, they'll have the great prizes, and like Demi said, they have vendor gifts. They'll have gift baskets. Sometimes they do the guitars. So I would say it's definitely worth it if you can to do VIP, and especially with the guest lineup this year. If you're an X-Files fan, if you're a House of a Thousand Corpses fan, definitely worth it because those lines suck, and we all know lines suck.
Yes.
So
yeah, because I think if I'm not mistaken, I think like Saturday's close to being sold out. Like that's the rumor going around that literally spooky tickets are just about sold out for Saturday. That's how crazy it is.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it at all. And you know, being that we have such a solid lineup this year, there's going to be more people coming in. So if you can't
there's
afford
going to be more guests announced. So.
Yeah, and if you can't afford it, do the VIP, and I can almost guarantee you'll enjoy the con, even if you just come for one day. If you're just there for the Saturday and you do the VIP, I would say you would enjoy, because you don't have to wait around for stuff. You know, I mean, any more of the last few years I've come because it's Spooky Family,
exactly.
and I see my friends and I see my Spooky Family, and I get to see some of the celebrities too. But if you're there just for your autographs and stuff like that, and you don't want to wait in those lines, do the VIP. It's worth it.
Yeah, especially just for the waiting factor. Like I said, Saturday, the lines are going to be freaking insane. I'm expecting to see 4-hour lines, in all honesty, and I'm not exaggerating.
Yeah.
So if you would, and it gives you line passes, so you can bypass all that, and so you can get to meet everybody you want with no problem, with time to spare to go to the vendor's room, go to the, what other, events that Spooky has planned. You can get it all done with a VIP pass and have time to spare.
Plus,
so
you get
that alone is fun.
Yeah, I think you get in an hour early too. Like,
that's true too.
Yeah, I think they open at 11 and you can get in at 10, so you get in before the unwashed masses.
Yeah, literally unwashed masses. Telling you, and actually that's something I did want to mention. Yeah, I know we sit here and just sanitizers. There is something I did want to share. Actually, now that I think, I'm hoping to get something from them so I can actually let you guys know, because Harriet was the wonderful one that showed us what was it, Puss in Pits. Speaking of which, have you heard from them at all?
I'm still working on that. I gotta drop my thing. I'm gonna send it to you guys and see what's going on. I'm putting in my order this weekend, and then I'll send my thing to you. And we'll see about getting some kind of a sponsorship or partnership, or, if they'll let us, say, hey, we support Spooky Empire or support you guys or whatever. Because I'd love to get them on board. I think it's a great idea what they do. So. Did we lose you?
We might have.
Uh-oh.
Well, in that case, we were pretty much done. Oh, there you are. You popped back in.
Okay, no, I was doing the screen share. Sorry about that.
Oh, okay.
Balls.com. It's freshballs.com.
Oh, okay.
Freshballs.com for the man who doesn't have a vagina but wants to keep his balls fresh. That's
Go to freshballs.com. Well, we're talking about unwashed masses, right? And we go on and on and on about hygiene. This is hygiene for the groin area. Boris was wonderful and told us about ass wipes. So you look up asswipes.com, keep your asshole fresh and clean, which is important. We have Puss in Pits, but apparently they also have freshballs.com, which, let's see, it's for itching and chafing.
It even actually says it on the product, hygiene for groin area.
Does it make your groin smell like coconuts? Because I'm down. Like.
And this is, holy shit, that's fantastic. But the other thing I wanted to bring up, let's see, pops up properly. Now, hopefully this pops up. There is, if you're on Instagram at all, if you follow the Mad Bombers. Now, the Mad Bombers, that is soap. That is a severed finger soap. Let me tell you, okay, first of all, she does the most amazing bath bombs, literally. I'm talking better than Lush. I'm talking about better than you get in a department store.
Wow. We keep losing you.
Well, on that note,
the most bomb. Fuck. Wait.
Yeah.
Okay?
This is a sign. This is a sign that we ran 10 minutes over.
No, I'll make it quick. I promise. But I promised. Let's see. She does horror soaps. If you look up the Mad Bomber, she's on Instagram. She's on Etsy. She does these great horror soaps. She does bath bombs. She does body spray, perfumes. And this is just an example. It's like she makes these like severed finger soaps, and they're amazing. They're quality. They're not just novelty. So it's something that you definitely want to check out. I'll be talking about it more in the next show, but look up the Mad Bombers. Look at the shit she's got. She's got Jaws. She's got it's freaking amazing. She's got like Michael Myers. She's got like the candy from Trick or Treat. She's got like really, really awesome stuff. And the body sprays that smell.
I'm sure we'd all love it.
No, I want to suggest it because people are fucking dirty.
Yes. Yes, they are.
Yes, they are.
Anything we can do to help that, you know what I mean? Fucking Christ.
There you go.
But yeah, so let's see. Yes, stinky. There we go. Stinky bastards. Soap isn't expensive. Please, babe. I hope stuff like that soap is that spooky. I love photographing all the spooky stuff, prosthetics, etc. Spooky is one of my favorites to photograph. Yeah, and again, the vendor room really has the most eclectic, local craftsman, artisan type stuff that you'll see anywhere. Really, really amazing stuff, which we've talked about many, many times.
Yeah.
Everyone, thank you for joining us tonight. I know we've had some technical difficulties at the end, but that's okay. Shit happens. So join us next time because we're turning off right now. Goodbye. Have a pleasant tomorrow. It's been a delight to talk with you again. So
and fuck off.
Yeah, there you go.
Read a salute.
Good night, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.